Greetings, beautiful souls. Thank you for joining me on a journey of transformation from the three-dimensional survival consciousness into five-dimensional evolutionary consciousness. The consciousness that we can bring into the body and teach our cellular structure to change gently, slowly, nicely, but much faster than is predestined for the human body, to create a heart and mind connection and naturally make our body rejuvenate and much more healthy than they are into that three-dimensional cellular consciousness. Now, if you follow my channel and my videos, you realize that we are doing this in the 2-week intervals. So this year we are focusing on the 2-week intervals, which are much more easier for you, for the body, for the mind, for the soul. And it's easy to stay focused in the 2-week intervals because you can check right away on yourself and says, okay, how am I doing? What I have done, what I have not done, how can I do it a little bit differently? Instead of setting up this big goal and coming to the disappointment and giving up. So now we are before the full moon. Full moon is on the April 16th of the April 16th on the Saturday. So now there is the Wednesday, so that energy is building up. You're probably feeling it for the last few days, this little uneasiness and weird kind of the feeling, maybe doubts and the fears are coming up, and maybe some kind of the anger and that unsettled energy start moving in. This is normal. Remember, the full moon and the new moon pulls the electromagnetic energy of the waters back and forth, and it's happening every day. Just on those 2 days, it's a little bit stronger. That means that the water within your body is stirred up. The energy, that vital force within you is stirring up and it wants to awaken. And then there's an ego who says, oh, no, let's not do this. So there's a contradictory energy within you that fights, that squabble, that doesn't get completely along. Those two energies are soul and your ego mind. Now, since we're living in the human body, we are all born with ego, into the ego-centered body energy. The ego is just the energy, is the animalistic kind of the energy. And it's just a younger version of this beautiful, intelligent mind that has capability to be connected to universal mind, to your soul family, to communicate and do all those phenomenal things that the ancients talk about or have shown us that they do. But before you do that, you do need to understand your ego and help it to transform, transmute, grow up, mature, whatever word you would like to find for it, into that beautiful mind. And I suggest that's what we will focus on this full moon. So for the full moon energy, you should pick something that you are ready to let go. Something that you're gonna look and says, okay, what is not working? What is it that I need to change? What will be the great purge that I'm going to do? Now, there's a lot of things, but I would suggest to start with ego. Why? Now, if you do this for those past few weeks that I talk about, you had some great things happening, and suddenly I think you were presented with some kind of the fears. Now, we first want to stir the pot, stir that energy within you, to get you excited, get the passion going on. And also trigger your ego. Because first goes ego like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. And she's not really serious about it. She's not gonna do it for the long time. She's gonna give up, because that's what I usually guide her to what to give up. But this time you are not going to give up, because you can do this in the 2 weeks. If you want it badly enough, you can change. We can change. And I think we do want it badly enough. I mean, how many incarnations you still want to do? I think we are ready to go home or have an incarnation on our own terms, instead of just to be directed by the ego, by some weird little beings who want to decide for us what kind of the suffering we should agree to be noble and honorable and clear the karma of the whole humanity. By the way, that's a lie. You don't have to do that. if they told you that they have to clean the karma of the whole humanity. Anyway, going back to the ego. So you get attention of your ego. It awakens, and that's that energy even wants to start to feel you a little bit fearful and showing you, all these things in the world that are not working and how dysfunctional it all is. To be successful on this journey, to be successful in letting go, you need to build a foundation. The foundation for the ego, which I would call the safe nest for the ego. Because again, the ego is just a lower version of your intelligent mind. You can't get rid of the ego. We can't say today like, okay, that I have decided I'm gonna let my ego die. I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna dig a hole for it and dump it there and close it in and plant the beautiful flowers on it to exchange it. It's not gonna work that way. It is the energy. You can never get rid of the energy. It doesn't matter if it's the dark or the light, but you can transmute it. Now, if I want to change some energy, I need to understand that energy. I cannot just, make the water in the wine because I don't know how to do it, right? The Jesus knew how to do it, but I know how to transmute the ego into the higher version of it, which means to go in your first chakra. So on this full moon, a beautiful pink full moon, let's focus on the first chakra. Your first chakra, beautiful red center, has an energy of the safety and security. That is the foundation for the ego mind energy. If you manage to help your ego feel safe and secure, that you are not going to dig up that grave for it, that it is not really dying, that is just growing up and changing and transmuting, you will get its attention. It's going to help you. Instead of running like a crazy maniac inside of you, giving you all the mind chatter and jitters and everything out there, it will manage to slow down and quiet down, where you can actually hear your soul in the guidance of your soul family. This is the basic teaching of all ancient kind of the teaching, whichever name you will call it and find it, quieting down that energy of the mind, or what we would call the ego at this time. How do you do it? So you can create a safe nest for the ego. That's what I call it. Build a safe nest of the ego. And I wrote about it in the Pleiadian Code 1 book. Find yourself a physical place in the house. It can be in the corner, on the little pillow. It can be in your backyard. It can be in the closet. It doesn't matter what it is, but make it physical. Don't make it just, here in my imagination is this and that. Everybody has at least little tiny corner in the house where you can put some kind of the cushion or the blanket where you can sit. And when you can, be consistent in this repetition, you will call it, this is your safe spot, a safe nest. Now, once you settle yourself in this place, spend a few seconds just tuning in. Don't use any music, don't use any meditation or any kind of the distraction. Just sit with yourself. And it doesn't matter if your mind, that ego is going really crazy and doesn't want to stop, or if it completely stops. Just sit there and tell yourself, I am safe. And feel it all the way down to your first chakra. I am safe. I am safe. Feel it. I am safe. Now, your first chakra is also connected to the extraordinary sense of smell. So you can, bring out something, either essence, food, tea, cup of coffee, hot cocoa, something that helps you to feel that, something that is connected to past in this life, that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel that, okay, everything is okay. Now, in the beginning, if you have a lot of issue, you may be able to feel it only for the second or two or three. which is absolutely normal. But once you get that feeling, at least for the 1 second, then next time you can hold it for the 2 seconds and 3 seconds until you build it into the half minute or the whole minute. It's the same way as you're learning to focus your breath and the mind on the one thing, one object or one chant. So you just focus on the breath and still your mind. So you quiet down the chatter. So again, now we don't have to worry about that. We just have to tell ourselves, I am safe, and feel it for a few seconds. That builds the foundation for ego. That is like winning a lottery on your journey of transformation from that 3D survival model into the 5D evolutionary model of the consciousness. Ego is not going to go anywhere if it doesn't feel safe. It is that little scared child who's up there and says, no, I'm not going to go there. I absolutely not going to go there. I'm not going to go into the water. I'm not going to go swim. I'm going to drown. And you can do whatever you want. Or if you have a little kid who says, I'm not going to eat that. And he says, oh, you're going to sit here for the 2 hours by the table until you don't eat your vegetable. And the little kid, if it's pretty stubborn, is going to sit there those 2 hours by the table, will not eat the vegetable. And they go like, okay, I have to rethink my plan. It's not really working. It's not going to work. So the goal is to make your ego to feel safe and secure. So that way, you know, it's kind of a pretty cool energy and a trick for ego to get through this full moon. So as it presents you with all kind of the fears, what is going to happen in the world, what's going to financially happen, is there going to be another pandemic, am I going to lose the job and I'm going to have the job, it has a lot of ideas, right? Instead of solving the problems and, you know, releasing all those like, I'm afraid of this and this and that because of this and this and that, you're going to take a different approach. You are going to address it. What is that you are afraid of? You're going to ask why. Why am I afraid of this and this and that? And most likely it will come that you cannot control something. You are afraid of something because you cannot control it or that situation. So it's like, you know, you are afraid that your kid's not going to get enough vitamins in the body because you cannot control him, that he'll eat his vegetable. You cannot shove it to his mouth if he says no. You have to come with a different kind of the approach, right? Again, compare it to the ego. So ask why. What is that you cannot control? And then just that is the part that you can let go. What you cannot control either will make you really victimized, like, oh, I'm so afraid, and oh my God, and let me just go have a nap and not to do the things. Let me hide inside of myself and procrastinate. Or it will make you angry, where you can act up on a little bit and express your anger and maybe, you know, hurt a few people's feelings with your anger and so much on, and hurt yourself back as well. So those are only the 2 things that the ego know how to do, either make you feel very victimized or make you feel very angry, right? So you're going to ask why. When I know why, you know, you can have a journal and write why, and play with it. You know, if you feel like, you know, I'm afraid of something, and ask why. And if it doesn't answer you, then you go, why? Well, walk around the day with why. And eventually it goes like, I cannot control that and you cannot control that. And you go like, that. And you will realize it's actually quite probably insignificant. Or even if it's significant, you know, there are the things we cannot control. You have a pet that you love dearly and your pet passed away. And you are afraid to get another pet, another kitty or the doggy, because you are afraid they're going to pass away. You can't control that. Their lifespan is shorter than our lifespan. And that's how it is in this world. And not to have another dog, because I love that one so much. And, you know, I know what I talk about. It's not fair. There are so many of those beautiful furry babies who are waiting to be adopted, who are waiting to go home. And it's your ego says, no, you cannot go over that heartbreak anymore. Really? There are things we cannot control, and there are things we can control, okay? But if we are at that point that we can't control, we can do one thing. You will never end up in that corner that your ego likes you to put to. You will never end up in the corner, well, you cannot control how long this beautiful furry baby is going to be living for. That is true. And he says, that is true. That is plain down reality. That is true. If I'm going to feel safe about it, then I'm going to enjoy the time that we have together and make it memorable and beautiful and great for the both of us. To give somebody a house, a life filled with love and the happiness is the best thing we can do for each other in this world. Not only for our fur babies, but for our grown-ups, babies, children, human as well. And if it is only for the one day, that one day touch you so deeply in the heart, that one day filled with love and happiness can stay with you for the rest of your life. That is a meaningful way of life. And it doesn't matter into how many difficult days or heartbreaks or the problems you come, you can always remember that and hold that. Now with that, there is something that ego doesn't want you to know, that you have a choice. You have a choice, how are you going to feel? So yes, you can't control the things, but you have a choice how you're going to feel about it. Are you going to feel really heartbroken and sad or angry because this and this and that? Or are you choose to be neutral or forgive, surrender, let it go? You have a choice. You have a choice how you're going to feel about anything in your life. And naturally, your ego is going to present you with a fearful, shameful, nasty feeling choices. Now, our goal is to transform this, sort of show the ego says, okay, you know what? If we are feeling safe and secure, you don't always have to make me afraid about this, and that. And every time you get into fears, remember, just go in your first chakra. It doesn't matter what those fears are about. Go in your first chakra and tell yourself, I am safe. For the moment when you're telling it to yourself, you are telling a true statement, because at the moment of now, where I am right now, right here, I am safe. It doesn't matter what's going on in my life or what I have to do later on or whatever's going to be presented in my life or whatever problems are going currently in my life. At the moment of now and this few 1 to 3 seconds right now, I am safe. Now, to finish this really fast, what is it going to do for you? So you identify your ego, right? You go in your first chakra and you start to have to talk to yourself and feeling of I am safe. And you start building the foundation for your ego when it will be safe to transmute matter into intelligent mind. But this is the most important part of it. You are suddenly talking to your cellular structure of your body and teaching it a 5th dimensional program, I am safe. Because it's a feeling. If it's going to stay only in your head, it's not going to do much for you. Go like, I am safe, I am safe, I am safe. It's like, I have a poem that I'm repeating over and over and over. You have to bring it down in that first chakra. You have to feel it. You have to even fake it, how it would feel to be safe. How does it feel not to move from the house to the house, or to have a financial safety, or be safe at your work, to safe at your marriage? Even if you don't have it, and usually people don't have it, right? Have the biggest problems with it. For those few seconds, you can imagine, you can fake it, how it would feel. So you are literally teaching your ego to release this energy in your cellular structure. You are teaching your blood that creates the new cells, a new kind of the energy. See, This is contradictory, right? Like, is it really the new energy? No, it is something that we all know, but it is something that your body doesn't remember how to hold the energy of. All our bodies, we know how to feel afraid, right? Always be afraid of something because that's going to help you survive. It is a built-in survival, what you call it, the gadgets, the energies inside. That's how this body is built. Since we were little and you started to walking a little bit, your parents try to protect you from this, and that, because they were afraid, and they teach you to be afraid so you will survive. I mean, that's how we do that. But there's come to the point of our evolution. And the evolution is how it would feel if I have to make even most difficult decisions in my life from that point of I'm feeling safe. You will be amazed how your life is changed. So on this full moon, see what you are afraid of and feel safe about it. Because when you do, you will get this guidance and intuition and ideas on how to solve it or how to make the decisions about this and that, or if you have to act on it or don't act on it or anything, you definitely will know. And once you start learning this, you will realize how phenomenal and super easy and simple it is. See, we all are looking for ancient knowledge and the answers and reading gazillion of the books, the older, the better, right? And then there's a simplicity. Simplicity that keeps repeating in the all ancient teachings of build the foundation so you can grow. You cannot fly high if your foundation is made on the crumbling sand, and it is gonna crumb. It's gonna fall. It's not gonna support you. So in this one, we build let's say the lighthouse and that post by the ocean or the sea where you are safe. So in the lighthouse, let your light go on. Put your beacon of the light up there. You will always find that light. You are safe. It is the place to come and regroup, regenerate, return back to the original self and grow from it up, to build up on it. So let's do this together as a soul group, because when we work as a soul group, that energy reach all around, and we're literally creating 100 monkey syndromes. Not that we are the monkeys, I mean, a little bit more than 100 people to do that. But when we are focusing on the same goal and the same consciousness, it goes faster and better. And we are literally sending these light codes to the whole world of the earth. So my beautiful, lovely souls, I wish you a happy, happy, happy Easter, beautiful rebirth. And I would say the beginning of the rebirth of the ego starts with, I am safe. Yes, there are the fears and the problems in this world, but I can choose how I'm going to feel about them. I can really choose how I'm going to feel about anything, even about the most horrible thing in my life. And that will make a change within me. That will shift me from ordinary human into growing into multidimensional human. Ego would like that. All right, you have a wonderful Easter. You have a wonderful next 2 weeks, and I'll see you soon. Love and light from my heart to yours.